Hey. Hey everybody, this is Chris Burfield. I just want to say thank you for being here tonight. I know you guys put in a long day today, and you'd probably rather be hanging out with your family right now, so I really commend you for taking time to check out this live demo that we're going to do tonight with Jared Yellin, who I have here with me. So if you want to say hi for a second there, Jared.
What's up, everyone? Appreciate you taking the time. I'm excited. I mean, there's nothing better than chatting with a large group of chiropractors. So, Chris, thank you for making this happen and reaching out to your people and letting them know that there was an opportunity to learn some good marketing skills and also to be exposed to a really special program that we've put together.
Absolutely.
So, you run the show, man. This is your show, so do your thing.
Yeah, and it's like I'm really excited for everyone as well. And I first learned about you because one of my longtime loyal subscribers, Dr. Marco Caravaggio, he's a Canadian chiropractor, reached out to me. I've known Dr. Marco for years, and he was like, Chris, look, I know you probably get a lot of people that ask you to take a look at a lot of things, but I started up with this company called Simpractic a little while back, and I'm absolutely blown away by it, Chris. You really got to meet this guy Jared and let him show you what I've been using in the practice, because it has helped tremendously. So, and like I said in my emails earlier this week, it was just kind of that urgency in the email of like, you really need to talk to this guy. I was like, okay, well, hook us up. So it ended up Jared and I did a Google Hangout just like we're doing right now, face to face. I got to meet him, and I was like, hey man, I hear you got a really badass marketing machine. Let me see it. So he said, yeah, sure. So he gave me a live demo like he's going to do for you guys tonight, and I was blown away by it. I mean, it's really unique and really powerful, and what I love about it is that it's completely automated. It'll do everything for you. You don't have to do any selling, and it'll drive scores of traffic into your office, getting people to pick up the phone and call the office and make an appointment. At the end of the day, that's what we all want. So, Jared, I do appreciate you taking time out tonight to do this. And before we do that live demo, I just want to I have a few questions that I want to run through with you. I know some chiropractors are probably like, hey, who is this guy? Like what makes him qualified to be teaching marketing, and why are you so excited about it, Chris? So I mean, that's really what one of the first things I want to know, Jared. What makes you uniquely positioned to be teaching marketing to chiropractors?
For sure. And prior to doing that, just so everybody knows, at the end of this, I'm going to invite everyone, obviously, to join our tribe, which is called Simpractic. And I really believe that it's exactly what all of you need if you're the right chiropractor. And I'll go over that later, what that actually means. But below this video, you'll see there are two links. One is a free one-on-one demo. So if at the end you still have questions that aren't answered, and you're able to email in questions throughout, and we have a moderator here that'll pass them to us, and then I'll answer them. But if you still have questions, schedule a one-on-one demo. Otherwise, if whenever it makes sense and you're like, I need to be part of this tribe, just click on Get Started Now. It'll actually open a new screen, so there's no issue there with regards to like missing out on something, and you can just join and we'll get you all of the information. So, but with regard to your question, like why am I uniquely positioned? So the first reason that I'm uniquely positioned is because I am your ideal patient. I absolutely, for years, have lived the chiropractic lifestyle. But what's so unfortunate is that I only started when I was 21 years old. That's 9 years ago as of 2 days. My birthday is in 2 days. And the reason I say that is because growing up, I was like the odd kid. I would always be exercising when my friends were playing video games, or I would be eating protein bars when my friends were eating Kit Kat bars, or I was listening to Tony Robbins when my friends were watching MTV. Like I lived the chiropractic lifestyle minus one thing, which is called chiropractic. And I knew this concept existed. Like I obviously heard the word chiropractor, but I had no idea that like chiropractic is a lifestyle. I just wasn't exposed to that before. And so much so that I was a natural bodybuilder in college. I started a personal training business because I've always been an entrepreneur, and that paid my way through college. I was training my professors, which was a good gig because if they gave me a hard exam, I made sure we did legs that next day so that I always won. But the point of this is I would have spent any amount of money in order to improve my health and to give myself the edge. And I wasn't under care. So the reason I'm uniquely positioned is because I'm your ideal audience. And I'm a raving fan of chiropractic now, so much so that we've launched a company that just serves this profession. We've invested millions of dollars into what we're doing because we recognize there's a gap right now. There are other people just like me, and probably Chris, just like you before you were exposed, that just don't know the story. And what connects the dots is marketing. It's effective education and relationship-based marketing. In addition, I've been in the profession now for like 9 years, which is crazy to me to think that, and I've served thousands of chiropractors. I've spoken on very large stages. I've consulted with, thousands of doctors over the years, and I can understand where you are with regards to your frustrations and your insecurities, and also that burning desire to serve. And I also know where the lay audience is, where they want what you offer, they just don't know to call it chiropractic. So the reason I'm uniquely positioned is because I will bridge that gap. And Simpractic is what does it. That's a great question, and I appreciate you starting there.
You actually bring up a really good point right there. People want chiropractic, they just don't know that they want chiropractic per se. Yeah. I'm seeing a huge shift. I'm seeing it on social media where I'm seeing more people post about, just lay people posting about, hey, get educated about vaccines. Hey, look what Monsanto's doing to our food. And you see people starting to make this shift, and it's a really exciting time to be a chiropractor. Yet chiropractors only serve about 7% of the population. And that kind of leads me to my next question, like, what is it that people don't understand? Why don't they understand chiropractic? Why aren't chiropractors tapping into that other 93% that want chiropractic yet don't know that they need it, sort of thing?
Yeah, so that's such a great question. So I actually had this exact conversation with one of our clients. He has one of the largest clinics in the country, and I was saying how exciting, like with regards to like the timing for this profession, because of social media, people are now able to express their opinions. And there is a ton of lay people that have very strong opinions around GMOs and vaccines, and that they're talking chiropractic. They may not use that term, but that's what they're talking. And they're preaching it, and there are some people that bash them and others that agree with them. But ultimately, like, what they're looking for is to become part of an environment of like-minded individuals that can help propel them forward. But the reason I think that there's this gap with regards to like the lay people connecting the dots with chiropractic is really because chiropractors have such a difficult time when it comes to marketing. And there's a few reasons for that. There are some chiropractors who genuinely believe that they've tried everything and nothing works. And that belief system, that story they tell themselves, is the most significant anchor that is holding them back from having the practice that they've always imagined. And I mean, it's really holding them back because every business needs marketing. I mean, it's the central nervous system of your organization. It's like a layperson saying, like, oh, I'm too healthy to be adjusted. That's absurd. Or I've tried everything before and nothing works with regard to my health, so I'm not going to pursue chiropractic. That would drive you crazy as a chiropractor, right? Which is why it drives me crazy, and I'm sure, Chris, it drives you crazy, when you hear chiropractors say, well, I've tried everything when it comes to marketing, nothing works. So that belief system is one of the reasons why the lay people don't know that what they want is called chiropractic, because there's unfortunately a lot of people who feel burned for some reason. And what I encourage you to do, if you're watching this and you're one of those people, is just be open to the possibility of changing that story, because that story is holding you back right now from having the practice that you've always dreamed of. The other aspect of it is that chiropractors that are still marketing, because they're not living by that belief system, they're just doing it really sporadically. They're already busy, so they're in a busy clinic. Maybe they're working 3 or 4 days a week, but it's jam-packed. They have a family. They have their own health, and marketing like enters their mind like on a Sunday once every other month. And what do they do? So they send out like one email to their database, and they're like, oh, I did my marketing for the next quarter. I'm set. And I say that with like sarcasm, but it's so painful to think that chiropractor actually believes that they're marketing by sending out like a random email. But I get it. You're busy. It's not front and center for you. It's probably not even something that you enjoy doing. Like I think about this all the time. Like in an ideal setting, what does a chiropractor want? A chiropractor wants more of the right new patients while exerting the least amount of effort and no selling. That's what they want. That's the ultimate vision of every chiropractor. And you're probably watching this now and like you're laughing. You're like, oh my gosh, it's exactly what I desire. So that's what Simpractic does for chiropractors. So when I show you, you'll see that. But if that's what you want, it's not going to happen by sending out one email every 2 months just because you're fulfilling your marketing quota for that period of time. And then the third scenario is just really ineffective marketing. It's doing things that appease you, but not keeping the end user in mind. So it's like doing the same old workshop or the same old presentation or sending out like a newsletter that you have no passion behind, and it's not fun, it's not social, and it's not edgy, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't represent you. Like when I think about chiropractors, like I think about like the thing to do. It's like edgy. Like if like successful entrepreneurs, like they're under care because like they're always looking for the edge. And I speak at undergraduate schools often to like up-and-coming entrepreneurs, and I'm often on a panel, and they'll ask me like, Jared, how'd you do it? Because like and I'll share the backstory of the company, but I literally started this company over 3.5 years ago from the time of this webinar out of my apartment by myself. And they're like, how did you do it? Like, how did you scale this into what it is today with a multi-million-dollar software and an amazing team and a beautiful office? Like, what gives you the edge is what they're saying. And my answer is always this. It's because I'm under regular chiropractic care. And I'm saying that authentically because that gives me the edge. It's something that, like, a lot of people exercise, a lot of people eat well, a lot of people are going and listening to personal development, but what gives you the edge is what other people aren't doing. And not enough people are under care yet, like what you alluded to. And I genuinely believe that, like, chiropractic is like the thing to do. And if it's the thing to do, you need to market it that way. Like, you need to let people know, like, hey, what I'm offering, like, this is the real deal. And that's what I'm looking to attract, are people that want the edge as a parent, as a corporate executive, just as a human being. Those are the people I want to attract. So it's a combination of either feeling like you've tried everything and it hasn't worked. Another thing is that you're just doing it so sporadically, which is hurting badly. And the third scenario is you're doing it, so kudos to you, but you're just ineffective because you're not looking at yourself as like the thing to do. And that's what I believe there's this massive gap between the lay audience and chiropractic.
Yeah, and I think once people realize, and it's like, and it's all done through marketing, but once people wake up to the fact that everything they taste, hear, see, smell, and touch is experienced through their nervous system, and that's what chiropractic does, is improve the nervous system, that their whole life becomes different. But nobody knows that unless you're out there marketing it and educating people about it. And that's where chiropractors, a lot of them, drop the ball. And why? I mean, you just went over basically what the gap is, but like, why do you think chiropractors have such a hard time marketing that?
Yeah, so it's a few reasons, and this is really based on experience now of working with thousands of clinics and like dissecting them before and then after they're part of the Simpractic tribe and like seeing like the dramatic difference. So one of the challenges is this, and Chris, you know this because you're an expert on this. The world of marketing has evolved so quickly. I mean, it's like in the past, like innovation would take like a decade, whereas now it takes a week. And like every day there's a new solution that is brought to market. There's a new way of doing things. Search engines are changing their algorithms. Facebook has new rules. There's copywriting that works and doesn't work. There's design that works and doesn't work. There's funnels. Like there's just so much going on. And what that leads to is chiropractors that are just like paralyzed. Like they just don't know where to start because they didn't keep up from the beginning because it's just not your craft. Like your craft is adjusting and educating, and that's what you should be doing. And I did this video a few weeks ago, and it was motivated by this gentleman named Dean Jackson, who I'm in a mastermind group with. And he does a podcast with Joe Polish called I Love Marketing. And the whole interview was about how most small businesses struggle because like they're the cow and they're trying to milk themselves. And if you think about what the milk represents, it's the nutrition, it's your value. Like what's a cow's value? The cow's value is their milk. Well, the only way that milk gets brought to the consumer is if they have a farmer that's going to milk it. They can't milk themselves. But like chiropractors are like trying to do that, and since they didn't keep up from the start when this like rapid evolution took place, they have no idea what they're doing when it comes to marketing. And so like they're haphazard, they're doing things unintentionally, they're going to a seminar and they hear like a key buzz term and now that's what they're going to pursue, but they don't even know why they're pursuing it. There's no passion around it. So that's really like something that's just holding you back. The other challenge is that maybe you come to the recognition that you can't do this for yourself. You're like, okay, I get it. I'm a cow. I have this milk which represents my value, which is my ability to adjust and to educate. How does my milk reach my audience? And you go and try to hire someone. But like we know what happens when you do that. Like if chiropractors like churn through staff like crazy, and part of the reason is that you get people that might not really fit the mold, and they just like kind of the company ends up pushing them out because it's not the right cultural fit, because like they're not living the lifestyle and that's important for you. Or maybe they are, but like they're not really qualified to do your marketing. Like they don't really get chiropractic yet. They don't have a marketing background, and if they do, it's just cost prohibitive. Like you can't really afford someone who's going to be an effective copywriter, an effective designer. They're going to know social media strategy. They're going to know the search engines. They can manage your website. Like it's just not going to work. So you're in this place where you know you need to be doing it, or at least I hope that you do. So you know you need to be doing it, but you're unable to because you can't do it. You don't have the time or the ability or even the desire, and you can't really get the right person to do it for you because it's cost prohibitive, or they just don't exist. And that was one of the motivations to launching Simpractic, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I think that's really the challenge that chiropractors face, and trust me, I get it. It's really hard to be a small business owner, to grow your business, to be on top of your marketing, to hire the team, to handle the administrative work. There's a lot of stuff to juggle when your milk is your ability to adjust and your ability to educate.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree with you more. And, you know, what are your most successful clients doing to grow their practice?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'm going to answer it in a short way, and then I'll go into more specifics. So what they're doing is they're marketing literally all the time. Like it's nonstop. It's no like, oh, September, the kids are going back to school, I'm going to take this month off. Like that doesn't exist. Like we don't let that happen because think about this. The reason why Coca-Cola is unfortunately always on the mind of people is because they just don't stop. Like every month, like there's something building on something else, leading up to the Super Bowl for like this crescendo, and then they start the process again. Like there's just no end to their education and relationship-based marketing that they're employing. So the most successful clients, what they're doing is they're marketing every month. At least one campaign is being launched every single month. And I say at least one. Sometimes they're doing 2 or 3. And I'll show you what I mean by a campaign when we go through the demo. So just hold on tight because that'll make more sense.
Awesome. You guys are going to absolutely be blown away by it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it gives me the chills actually. I was telling you, today we were as a team we were sitting down. We were like reflecting. We do this a lot because we like as a fast growing startup, like a week is like a year because like we grow so quickly and there's all these innovation and changing, and like we were talking about like where we were this time last year because we're about to host another war room as a team, and when we host war rooms like the world shakes because like so much innovation is coming from that, and it's just so crazy to think about the company that was last year compared to where we are today. And I'll talk about that, and you guys will be really enthusiastic because I think that you as a business, a small business owner, you need to evolve that way also. There should be like rapid evolution because there's opportunities everywhere and you're super excited. And this is another thing that the most successful chiropractors do that work with us. Like they're open to evolution, they're excited about it, they are insanely passionate. And do you know why? Because they're playing to their strength. They're not sitting down and writing their marketing copy. They're not sitting down and designing like a flyer like in PowerPoint that looks like crap, and they know it looks like crap, but they have to hang it up anyway because they need something. Like they're not like posting on their social media. They're not like worrying about their website and like trying to figure out what a landing page is and like calling up their son in college and saying, how do I set up an autorespond? Like they're not doing that. They're playing to their strength. So what's their strength? Their strength is incredible enthusiasm. They are passionate, they are excited, they are talking about what's going on, and their entire team is as well. So there's like a culture now that exists within the business, and I'm going to talk about culture in another minute. I want to dig into that for a moment. In addition to that, what else is their strength? Well, their strength is their ability to educate. So they're fired up because they're about to do some like really edgy workshop or event or community-based initiative, and like they are the focus point. Like it's them. Like they're the leader of this initiative. And everything's done for them. The PowerPoint's done. They have the special reports, so they're prepared. They can give out to people. There are beautifully designed coupons that they're handing out. There's posters everywhere around the community. So like they're fired up to be the expert. That's another thing that they're doing. But ultimately, what it comes down to is that word culture. And this is something I want you guys to write down the word culture. And I'm going to talk about this, and then maybe like after this is all done, after you all join SimPractic, because you're like, wow, this is the greatest thing ever. Like think about your culture, because it's a term that gets thrown around, especially in the startup community, like all the time. People talk about like the culture at Google, the number one place to work. But like, what does that mean for you to have like a culture in your business? So the most successful chiropractors that we're working with, they get that because we've ingrained this in them, and we're always giving them new ideas to enhance their culture. But what a culture does, when you actually have a culture in your business, is it actually spills over into your community, and then it brings the community into your clinic. And that cycle continues, and what do you get? You get more of the right new patients with the least amount of effort and no selling. So this culture that all of the chiropractors in SimPractic have built is based on fun. It is based on a level of edginess, like I spoke about before, and it's also based on a social piece, which is so important, and it's missed in chiropractic. People want to feel like they're part of something. It's so important for them. This is a basic human need. They want to feel a sense of belonging. And if you can create an environment where like-minded people can congregate outside of just care, that they're going to do that regardless, but they're going to come in because this is like their social sphere, and every month you're doing things so they can then also go and bring people just like them to their social sphere, which exposes them to your clinic. Then as a result, the business grows, and it grows with the right new people with the least amount of effort and no selling. And that's what they're doing. It's based on the culture, their enthusiasm, and also the consistency. They never take a month off. They can't. They have a personal marketing coordinator that's going to reach out to them and say, hey, Dr. John Doe, like, what are you doing there? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm picking today. I'm picking a campaign today. And I'm saying that with seriousness because you need that accountability. And that's one of the other pieces that we bring.
Yeah, and I think that accountability is what's so vital as well, because like you said, sometimes you can, especially as a chiropractor, they're juggling so many things, and just knowing that you have that accountability partner there to say, hey, let's get something going this week. That's beyond valuable. So, what made you decide to launch SimPractic?
So it's interesting. So I'll give a quick backstory because it's actually like I think it's so important that people hear this before they join, so they can understand the journey, because like it has been just exhilarating. I mean, like when I reflect back 3.5 years ago, I mean, like it was like another lifetime compared to where we are now. But I launched the company out of my apartment, and my vision when I launched this company was to even the playing field between small business owners and large organizations when it came to marketing. I just saw this gap that was building, and in my mind, the only solution to whatever our economy is today is making all of you super successful. Like that's it. It's not about getting the big guys to become more successful. It's about getting all of you to reach whatever your goal is. Whatever, and everybody's different. Someone right now might say my goal is to have $1 million plus clinic. Awesome. We need to get you to reach that. Someone else might say, yeah, I just want to make $200,000 a year. I want to be able to have more time with my kids. I just don't want to have to deal with the financial stresses that I have right now. Awesome. We need you got to hit your goal. That's where the change takes place, is with small business owners. So I launched this company, and I realized that early on that the only way I could scale it is if I had a singular focus with regards to who I was going to do business with, because I didn't want to become one of those startups that just stretches themselves so thin that they can't grow. They plateau, and then it's like, was it even worth it anymore? So my singular focus was chiropractors. And the reason for that is I already had a number of years working in the industry. I knew tons of the leaders in the profession and practicing doctors, so my relationship capital was very strong. I really understand chiropractic. And I often say I understand chiropractic more than most chiropractors, because like you, Chris, because you know how to market it. So that's critical. And the final piece is I just believe in what you guys believe. I mean, like, I deeply believe in it. So I launched this company, and somehow, like, I think it was like 2 months and like a week and a half, something like that, I had 75 chiropractors join. it was chaos. I mean, I was not ready for that type of growth in that short period of time, and I was literally working 20 hours a day. It was mayhem, and really exciting mayhem, because what it represented was a big opportunity. So I went out and I took full advantage of this. I hired an amazing team, just a group of just brilliant entrepreneur minds to join me. Got a beautiful office space right outside New York City, and we decided to scale. It was time to take off. And we grew both inside of chiropractic, but also in other industries as well. And I was a little bit apprehensive because other industries, they started to approach us, and they were like, come on, do this with us. And I was like, I don't know, let's just stick with chiropractic. But I said, okay, let's give it a shot. Let's just see what happens. And it was the best decision we could have made. We were able to grow faster, so we made more money. But in addition to that, we became better marketers for chiropractors. There's just certain things that we didn't think of doing until we did them in a different industry. We saw how it worked, and we brought it to the profession. Well, I'm like an anti-entrepreneur, so like we were growing like crazy, but I'm like, what's the next level? So in January of 2013, I took a sporadic team meeting. Everybody was busy in work. I'm like, all right, pattern interrupt. We're going to the office right now, like to our conference room right now. Let's dig into strategy. And they were like, all right, sure, what's up? I'm like, we're going to the next level. And they were like, what does that mean? And because we already grew like really quickly, and everybody was like just getting settled into the role of us being at this level. And I'm like, we're going to build a software platform that literally automates everything that we're doing manual, and we're going to empower these business owners to be able to do whatever they want, whenever they want, and as often as they want. And they were like, wow, that sounds pretty cool. Like, can we do it? I'm like, of course we can do it. We're getting started today. So we actually went and built this. It took us 11 months to build the first version of it, and then we launched the second version a couple months after that once everything was stabilized. So around like January of this year is when everything was stable. It was a $2.5 million investment that we somehow self-funded, which was the biggest accomplishment to date. It was awesome that we were able to pull that off. And it was December of last year, we had our war room. I mentioned that before. And the software was done, so like we were ready to like do something big. And like, what was that? So in my mind, the only way to know is to bring your team together. So we went to New York City for the day, or into this beautiful loft in Midtown Manhattan. And I brought everybody together, this group of like crazy lay people that happen to really believe in chiropractic as well. And I said to them, where do you believe we can make the most significant impact in 2014? And literally, Chris, every person in the entire room said chiropractic. Every one of them. It was awesome. I got the chills thinking about it because it was like about a year ago. That's why I say, like, looking back a year, it's like crazy to me. And every person in the room, and these are all lay people. These are all your ideal candidates for care. This is the real deal for you. And every one of them said that we can make the biggest impact in chiropractic. So I said, awesome. We're on the same page. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go back to having a singular focus once again. And our singular focus for 2014 is that all new business will be practicing chiropractors. We will have 1,000 chiropractors join our tribe in 2014. So at the time of this recording, we're already over 500, which is awesome. I expect us to double before the end of the year. If not, it'll happen in January. We'll actually hit that double. There's some massive campaigns taking place right now with different state associations, both domestically and internationally. There's big stuff happening. It's the power of vision. I mean, we all literally saw 1,000 chiropractors in this tribe in December of last year, and it's going to manifest within the next couple of months. So my motivation, though, is that we need to find a way to help chiropractors market fearlessly, which can be defined as creatively, compelling, and all of the time. That's how we define fearless. And we also need to find a way to bring this profession together so they can unite. Because far too many chiropractors right now are trying to change the world on an island and by themselves. And it has never worked before, and it will never work in the future. So what we need to do is create an environment of collaboration, and that's what Simpractic is, and that was my motivation. Fearless marketing and collaboration, which will bring your message to your ideal audience so you get more of the right new patients with the least amount of effort and no selling.
Yeah. Well, first of all, extremely inspiring story. I heard it when we first had our Google Hangout, and hearing it again for the second time gets me even more excited just about the whole, just being an entrepreneur and seeing what you've done, but also knowing that you really do care about chiropractic and seeing people get chiropractic. I think that's really unique. There's a lot of marketers out there that could give, for lack of a better phrase, two shits whether they actually care about chiropractic. They're just there to make a dollar. And that's one of the things that I really
totally get that. Yeah.
I've been in this profession 17 years, man. I started off as a chiropractic assistant, and here I am today. I owned a very successful practice for 7 years, and here I am teaching marketing to chiropractors now. I've been in this profession for 17 years. My heart and soul is in this profession, and when I met you for the first time on that Google Hangout, I could feel that from you as well. I was like, wow, this guy, I connect with this guy because he's a lot like me. I can see that he really cares about chiropractic. So, your story is extremely inspiring, but I know, the docs that are out there watching this right now is like, okay, inspiring story, but what about me? How can I benefit from Synpractic? So what would you tell the doctors watching this webinar? How can they benefit from what you're doing, from what you've created with this?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you, because I think that's the easiest way for you to see this. I'm going to take you through a demo. It'll be like 10 minutes long, and you're going to see it. And it's going to be crystal clear when you see this whether or not this is right for you. And if it's right for you, then what I encourage you to do is don't just like sit there and perseverate like, well, maybe it's right, maybe it's another scam, I've been scammed before, I've been hurt before, I've tried this before. Like, just try it. Like, we have no setup fee, we have no contract. Like, you can't create a more fair scenario. And we did that because I get it. Many of you feel burned. But what I know to be true is that this is not going to be another one of those experiences. Like, Chris, you said this. Like this is not even about the sale anymore. Like, this is about a community being served by a chiropractor who is marketing fearlessly and collaborating regularly. Because the byproduct of that is that you will reach more people and you'll be a better chiropractor because you're collaborating with your kind. Like, imagine that. Access to your kind. So I'm going to show you my screen right now. Let me get this set up because I really want you guys to see this. All right, let me just get this set up here. Give me one moment. Okay, so here we go. You see that, Chris, right?
Yes, we can see it.
Good stuff. So, what is Synpractic? Synpractic is an automated marketing department specifically designed for chiropractors. Like I mentioned, we have over 500 clinics we're working with right now, and you better believe we're going to double this thing before the end of this year. I am fighting my way over the finish line. We set that vision, and we're going to make this thing happen. We've invested $2.5 million into what I'm going to show you right now, which literally is a software that automates the entire process for you. So the experience begins when we design you an absolutely world-class website. We have literally designed hundreds and hundreds of websites for chiropractors over the years. So we know exactly what it takes to build a website that looks world-class and converts. So one thing that you'll notice that's very unique about the sites that we build is that we take advantage of white space. So white space is all of this area around here that you see. And the reason why this is important is, like, think about Apple as an example. So Apple is really simple. They have a lot of white space. And why do they have a lot of white space? Well, they have a lot of white space because they want the person that's visiting the website or visiting any of their ad to not get consumed with all of this like muck and this pollution. They want them to be able to think and to make a decision. So that's why everything on the site is intentional. We're also huge advocates of education. So you'll see that there are videos like this on the site, and these videos are those hand-drawn videos. You guys have probably seen these before. We produce these in-house. We have an amazing team of illustrators, actually, that hand-draw these videos. And if you want, you can always replace these with your own videos, but these are extremely effective when it comes to patient education, and they're all throughout the site. Now, these websites, outside of looking beautiful on your computer, they also look world-class on the mobile device. These are mobile websites as well. And that's so critical for you because people spend more time on their mobile device than they do on their computer. So you want to make sure that the experience connecting through mobile is effortless. So you have to have a mobile website. So you're actually getting two websites when you join Synpractic. Now, built into the back end of the site, you'll see here, is the Synduit dashboard. So you would actually log in, and I just did this here so it's faster, and when you log in, this is what you will see. This is the Synduit dashboard. There's an enormous amount of functionality that lives in your site, but one thing that we kept in mind is who is the end user. The end user is either a busy chiropractor or a staff person who is super busy. So what we did is we built a platform where our philosophy is 2 clicks or less. We wanted to make it super easy for you so that you were able to get done whatever it is that you desire. I'm going to walk you through the feature set now so you can begin to envision how this will work for you. One of the features is a blog that's built directly inside your website, and you can update this blog with video content or with written content, and when it updates, it will also post on your Facebook and on your Twitter, because everything is integrated. I'm going to kind of share the inside scoop on something that we really haven't publicized too much, but we have a new feature that we're going to release before the end of this year. It's already done from the standpoint of development. We're just taking it through testing. We really test things well before bringing them to you, and this feature is a actual blog library. So outside of posting your own unique content, there will be access to a database of blog posts that you can either edit and tweak or use as is, and then when they post, it will also update your Facebook and your Twitter as well. So we're super excited about that. In addition, your entire email database will live inside of your website. And the reason that it's inside of your site, this is both your existing database that you have now and the database that we help you build, but the reason that it's inside your website is because there's a full email marketing system that's also built inside your site. This gives you the ability to send out as many emails as you desire, either to a segment of your list or to your entire database. And it takes like 2 clicks. It's super, super easy to send out these messages. So you can wish people a Happy New Year, a Merry Christmas, a Happy Thanksgiving, or even just let them know you're changing your office hours within 2 clicks. The event library, I want to show you this last because this is the automation piece, and I actually want to walk you through it. Live events is just incredibly valuable for practicing chiropractors. This is an online event registration system that is built inside of your site. This gives you the ability to have people actually sign up on your site for anything that you're offering, whether it's a new patient orientation, a workshop, a patient appreciation day, a community-based initiative, whatever you're doing, internally or externally, people will come to a page on your site. They can sign up for themselves and with a guest as well, and then once they sign up, they will begin to receive a series of autoresponders, which are automatic emails that will remind them so they don't forget to actually show up. And I'll show you that in action. That's all automated for you. The weekly calendar I just love. I'm like biased to this. And the reason is what I mentioned before. I believe that chiropractors have the most wonderful vision in all of healthcare, which is you want to change the world. But the problem is you're trying to achieve that on an island and by yourself. And it has never worked before, and it will never work in the future. So the way that we address this is through regular collaboration. And one way we achieve it is with our weekly Sin Mind. Every week we have a Sin Mind. This becomes your chiropractic mastermind. It's 60 minutes a week. We conduct a Google Hangout so all of you can actually see each other. It's awesome. And you have the option of either attending live or you can watch the recording, whatever's best for you. We usually get around 20% of the clinics to attend live, and this is doctors/staff, so your staff can attend as well, or they can attend on your behalf. We get 20% to attend live, and then everyone watches the recording because it's packed with so much value. And one of the reasons is because we facilitate this. There's an agenda, and we stick to the agenda, but whoever's showing up live is sharing their ideas and their insight so that everyone can benefit. It's absolutely spectacular. We also have a private webinar each week, and this webinar is for doctors and staff. This is where we open up our world to you, and we actually showcase what we've done over the past 3.5 years that has allowed us to scale as quickly as we have, which is directly relevant to you growing your business. And we have a private conference call each week for your staff, and the goal of the conference call is to educate and empower your staff to step up and play an even bigger role in your clinic when it comes to marketing. All of these resources are always recorded. So if for any reason you're unable to attend live, that's perfectly fine because they're actually archived in the Synduit Academy. And the Synduit Academy actually lives inside of your website. Right now there's over 300 hours of video and audio training. We just eclipsed 300. It's amazing. hours of video and audio training on marketing, and we add about 2 to 3 hours a week to the academy. And this is for both you and your team. It's absolutely spectacular. You can dig into any of these sections here, and when you dig into the section, you have the ability to search based on title or based on category. And then when you find what you're looking for, you click play. And then in this window, there'll be a pop-up, and there'll either be a video where you can watch this handsome hunk right here, that's me, or there's an audio that you can listen to and you can stream, or you can even download it. Sometimes we have a special report that goes with it as well. And what's great about this, outside of looking at this handsome hunk, what's great about this is the fact that you can access the academy from any device. You don't have to sit at your computer. It's accessible on your iPhone, your iPad, your Android. I mean, it's accessible on everything. So you can take this training with you. Now, let me explain why we created the academy, because we automate your marketing, and I'm going to show you that now. But the reason that we created the academy is this. I've worked with thousands of clinics, and what I've seen consistently, the most successful clinics don't necessarily do their marketing because we're doing it for them, but they think like marketers. So what does that mean? Well, thinking like a marketer means you network more effectively. Thinking like a marketer means you're innovative. Thinking like a marketer means that you think about your culture. That's why we created the academy, just to get you to start thinking that way, because it's the most effective way for you to grow your business. You also become part of a private Facebook group, which is an amazing community. We obviously have hundreds of clinics involved, and they're all part of this group, and their staff as well, and it is like a giant think tank of chiropractic. Chiropractors posting pictures of their office when they're decorated in theme. Chiropractors sharing resources with one another. Success stories. I mean, it's amazing to see what happens when the profession comes together and decides to work together. Now let's dive into the automation piece, because I know that everybody really wants to see what am I referring to when I say we're an automated marketing department for chiropractors. Built inside of your website, there's an event library. And right now, there are about 75 Fortune 500 quality marketing campaigns that live inside your site. This is one of the examples of what I meant by like last year where we were to where we are now, to have 75 campaigns. And I use the term Fortune 500 quality because of the process that we go through to build these for you. I have a team of 9 people that work on these campaigns together. Copywriters, designers, social media strategists, there's editors, there's implementers, there's coders, developers, quality assurance. I mean, it's an amazing dynamic to see how they work together, and they also invest between 200 to 300 hours from start to finish on each of these campaigns. So these are crazy comprehensive for you. And you have the ability, or your staff, to search by title or by category. Categories consist of the following. It's a huge array, but there are teleseminars, webinars, referral programs, patient appreciation days. There's workshops that you can do internally or externally. We have chiropractors that are doing workshops as dinner workshops, doing workshops at schools, at corporations, at churches and synagogues. There are community-based initiatives. There are condition-specific programs. There are campaigns on fitness, on nutrition, on headspace, campaigns to attract more children. I mean, it is endless with regards to variety. Let's just pretend, for the sake of this example, you were to search chiropractic. So I would type in chiropractic here, and then I would hit search, and then all of the search results that met that term would show up. And then you'd see down here, let's use chiropractic's birthday party as an example. I know that this is a super successful campaign, so I want to kind of share an idea with you. So even if you don't join, you can walk away with a great idea, but you'll just see how the process works. So chiropractic's birthday party is a patient appreciation day and a referral campaign that's built into one. I mean, crazy success. We've done this hundreds of times. Let's pretend that you didn't know what it was. So you would click on preview. And when you click on preview, this window will pop up, and it gives you a chance to actually watch a 1 to 2 minute video, which is an overview video, so that you can get a better idea of what this campaign is about, so that you can then decide if you want to do it. In the academy, we actually have a training video. Usually it's around 5 to 15 minutes long. This is where we dig into the strategy behind this campaign in order to help you make it a success. You can also see a sample landing page, and sample campaign files as well, so you can see what comes with it, and I'll show you this in a moment. And once you decide that you want to do it, you click on Let's Rock. And when you click on Let's Rock, the only thing that you need to do, get ready for this, is put in the date and the time. So obviously chiropractic's birthday is in September, so we'll put this as September 18th of 2015 is when it's going to take place. And in the video we mentioned, because this is a patient appreciation day and a referral campaign, that it's best if you do this as an all-day campaign. We've just seen that that works the best. So we'll do it from 8 in the morning until 5 at night. And then the next section here is the event location. This will always auto-populate your office address, just to make it easy for you. But if you decide that you want to do this campaign somewhere else, at a restaurant or at a corporation or a school, you would just change these fields, and this is going to show up on all of the material, which I'll show you in a moment. And then finally, we ask for the special offer price. And sometimes this is obvious, like in a campaign like this, because there's an element of this being a referral campaign, we're going to highlight it, and we're going to bring this into the campaign. But when it comes to like a workshop, a webinar, or a teleseminar, we also ask this question. And the reason we ask is because we want to give you a compelling call to action, so that at the end of that workshop, you could tell everyone, for coming tonight, I want to give you a gift, which is a coupon for a new patient evaluation for $57, or whatever price you obviously decide. With every campaign, we generate customized, beautifully designed coupons for you. So you can actually give them something tangible, and we've seen that that anchors the experience, and they're more likely to use it. At this point, you click Save, and literally everything is done for you. Within 10 seconds, the entire campaign is customized, it's installed, and it's scheduled to do what it's supposed to do. And it might take an extra few seconds because the Google Hangout slows down my screen sometimes, so we'll let this actually percolate. But the power of this for your clinic is immense, and let me explain why. We have clinics now that are literally planned out with regards to their marketing for a minimum of a quarter. Many of them are even planned out for an entire year when it comes to their marketing. And this is not just like a plan that's on paper that never gets implemented. This is an already implemented marketing plan that's done for you. Let me show you, because this is now completed. So I'll first show you a landing page, because this has already been customized and installed on your site. Now, a landing page, the purpose of it is for people to learn more and sign up. You'll notice that everything is designed to perfection. We have illustrators on our team that actually hand draw every piece of artwork. So it's edgy, it's different. We write all the copy for you. You'll see here that the campaign is already customized. Remember, this was the date and time you were doing it. This was your special offer price. We don't always highlight that, but in this campaign it is a referral program, so we want to make sure that people are aware of the special offer. And people can literally click here, and then they can sign up for themselves and with a guest as well. Now, this page is on your website, so people can literally come to your site, and under events, as you begin to plan out your entire year, and we help you with this, you'll notice that this page begins to populate with all of the different things that you're doing throughout the year. And each of these images actually represents a landing page. So let me just show you a couple of them so you get an idea of what I'm referring to. Because when somebody clicks on this image, it actually opens up a page. So Mommy My Ear Hurts is an ear infection workshop so that parents can come and learn about an all-natural solution for their child's ear infection. Because I'm telling you right now, the parents want it. They just don't know to come to you. And obviously it's customized with your date and time. People can literally click here and they can sign up for themselves and with a guest as well. Another example, your kids need chiropractic care. Just if pediatrics is your gig, we obviously have a variety of campaigns for that, but we have tons of campaigns even if it's not your gig. But this is a teleseminar or a webinar customized to you that teaches parents around why chiropractic is something that is essential for their child. It's edgy, it's different, it's completely done for you, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a moment. People can click here and they can sign up. Game On is crazy successful. This is like a Super Bowl campaign, like a referral program around the Super Bowl. I mean, awesome. The copy is amazing, really speaks to the audience. It's a whole referral program with gifts and prizes. People can literally click here, and then they can sign up with a guest as well. Once somebody signs up, they will then begin to receive autoresponders. This is done for you. You don't need to do anything. This happens. This is customized to you already. Autoresponders are emails that are sent to people that have taken action. So one will go out immediately. It'll say, thank you for signing up. Here are the details. One goes out 24 hours before as a reminder, and then one goes out 2 hours before as a reminder as well. You'll see here, these are already customized with your date and time. This would be your location. This would be your signature. You don't need to touch these, but if you want, you can edit or you can unschedule. We also write all of your emails for you, and these emails are sent to your current, are scheduled to be sent to your current database and the database that we help you build. Once again, you can edit or you can unschedule, but you don't need to actually do anything. These emails are already customized to you. All of these links are driving people to your landing page on your website. Your special offer is highlighted in this scenario. The date and time, your signature. So you don't need to do anything, but you can edit or unschedule. We also automatically post on your Facebook and on your Twitter. This is also customized to you. You'll see here it's a customized link. So we're driving traffic from your social media to your landing page on your website where people will actually sign up for what you're offering. You can edit or unschedule, but you don't need to. And then finally are the campaign files. And this is super cool. With every campaign, we provide you with anywhere from 15 to 25, maybe even sometimes 30 campaign files. These consist of banners, posters, direct mailers. There are save the date cards. There are coupons, Facebook cover photos. We give you the PowerPoint presentation for every workshop, webinar, and teleseminar. We also give you a special report that goes with the PowerPoint so that you're prepared and you can give this to anyone who attends and to your practice members. There are press releases that are done for you, letters to other businesses to get involved, letters to schools, letters to churches and synagogues, letters to the media, letters to the Chamber of Commerce. There's even a blueprint that outlines how to use everything, and you can download these resources individually or a zip file with everything, and you'll see that all of the artwork is customized to you. This is an example of a poster, but your date and time, your location information. Another example, your date and time, your location information. And finally, another example, your date and time is down here, and then all of your location information. These are sample posters. So what this means is that you can either have this printed in your clinic, or you can send it to a local printer, and then they can have it printed for you. So this is Simpractic. This is the automated marketing department that I was referring to, and it's an exciting time. I mean, to be at 500 is pretty cool, but to know that you're going to scale to 1,000 within the next few months is even cooler. So it always gets me excited to share that because I know what it took to get us there, and it was some cruel and unusual punishment we put ourselves through. But we are here. It is stable, and it is rocking it for chiropractors from around the world. So thank you for letting me share that.
Yeah, definitely. And I've seen, over the years, I've been, like I said, I've been in this profession for 17 years, and I've seen other companies that have claimed to have, push-button type stuff done for you, and I've even bought into their systems years ago, and they were not as simple as you've made it. Like you said, you and your team designed everything to be as easy as two clicks of a mouse, and everything is taken care of. And that's really cool because, especially for, chiropractors that might not be so tech friendly, having to click here and then do this and then, drag and drop and paste this code in and all that stuff, it's just, it's too confusing. You guys have really done an excellent job of keeping it simple, just like Apple, which is one of the reasons why Apple is so successful, because everything is very simple, very user-friendly. So, for chiropractors that are sitting here after watching that demo and being like, oh my God, I got to get this. This thing is absolutely amazing. What are their options? How can they get started, or how can they learn more if they need to learn more? I don't really know what else you could show them at this point, because what you showed us was just unbelievable. But what are the options for them right now?
Yeah, for sure. And so everybody knows, if you guys have questions at all, just email support@simpractic.com. You'll see that information below this video. And I'm going to be taking questions. And there's a few questions that were already submitted through this, so I'll be able to answer them. A moderator is passing them to me. So here are the options. So before I share the options, I'm going to share what it means to actually get started. And then I'll tell you what you can do right now as an action step. So when we came out with this program, I made this comment to my team, and they were laughing hysterically. So I laugh to myself even when I think about it. But I said I want to create a scenario where whenever a chiropractor hears about Simpractic for the first time, they immediately say yes. Even like the skeptics say yes. Like they immediately I'm in, let's do this. So everybody on my team was like, Jared, like stop being so theoretical. Like come on, like that would be great. Like everybody wants that. Like how are you gonna do it? And I said we do it based on this. It's called no barrier to entry and no barrier to exit. So what does that mean for you? It means that there's absolutely no setup fee. And my design team, they really get frustrated with this because no one gives away a free website. That doesn't happen. I mean, these sites take a long time to build. We invest in building them. We invest in migrating anything from your existing website over to your new website. They take a long time to build. Like we're spending our time on that, and we're not charging anything for it. And the reason is because right now when you're watching this, I don't want anything to stop you from getting started, because I know that once you get started, you're never going to leave. So that's why we have no setup fee. And then on the back end, we have no contract. And we will never have a contract, because the best contract in the world is that you get what you want. Because if you get what you want, you're never going to leave. And I could never even imagine sleeping at night thinking that there's someone spending money with our company because they have to, not because they want to. And this has proven itself. We have a 99% retention in chiropractic. I personally, I don't even know people that have left just because it's been so long, and that's just because we consistently deliver. And we're part of the experience with you. We are driven to help you serve more people because they want what you offer. They just don't know how to call it chiropractic. So the investment for everything I just showed, which includes a brand new website, the Synduit dashboard with all of the functionality, email marketing system, online event registration system, blogging system. Right now there's about 75 Fortune 500 quality campaigns and growing. There's over 300 hours of video, audio training in the academy and growing. The mastermind session each week, the trainings each week for doctors and staff, the private Facebook group, and you get assigned to a personal marketing coordinator who is an expert in marketing, and they really understand chiropractic as well. And they not only train you, but they help you select your first campaign, and then they're readily available for anything that you need through phone or through email. Everything is only $497 a month, and it is month to month with a 30-day notice of cancellation. I mean, we've created a scenario where literally anyone, regardless of the size of the practice, can at least try it. Like, see, you'll know whether or not it's right for you. You can just try it. So at this stage, if you're like, this is absolutely the greatest thing I've ever seen, which I hope that every one of you are saying, because it will be, for sure, I'm happy you can see into the future, then just below this video, click on the Get Started Now button, fill out the form, and you're part of the tribe. And we're going to welcome you with open arms, and you'll begin to receive an email from us with instructions on what to do, but click Get Started Now. If at this point you're like, this sounds great, but like I want to talk about my unique situation, like there's something that I want to make sure that this can achieve, and then I'm going to get ready to get started, then just click on free one-on-one demo, put your information in, and then someone on the team will reach out to you tomorrow, and they'll schedule a demo at your convenience. And we'll answer any questions you have, because there might be some. And I know I have a few. There was 4 of them that were submitted like throughout when I was speaking. So we'll answer those questions and anybody else as well. But yeah, Chris, please.
Yeah, and I just wanted to, because you cut out a little bit on my end. I'm not sure if it cut out on everybody else's end, but you said $497 a month, correct?
Yeah, it's $497 a month, month to month.
And here's a way to look at this in perspective, guys and girls. You know, if you, and I've brought this up before, and I just want to make this point here. Think about how much you pay a chiropractic assistant. You know, and chiropractic assistants are extremely valuable to the practice. But think about what their typical job is. You know, it's to schedule patients, you know, answer the phones, check on insurance, you know, all those medial tasks that take place in the office to keep an office running throughout the day. But how many of your chiropractic assistants are actually out actively getting you new patients every single day, every single month, month after month, year after year? How many of them are actually doing that? So, a chiropractic assistant, you're paying them to do tasks in the office, but the return on investment, it's there, but it's not what something like this could bring to you. For $497 a month, the way I like to look at this, in other words, guys and girls, it's like hiring a marketing person and having them in your office and having it being automated. And you're getting a steal at $497 a month to hire a marketing person. And like Jared just said, you said you have a marketing coordinator, a personal marketing coordinator that they get along with it, right?
Yeah. This is an expert. I mean, this outside of their incredible passion, what makes them like even more valuable than somebody that would just be in your office is the fact that they're exposed to hundreds of chiropractors. So like they've seen it all, they've heard it all, but hearing it from you, they can now respond with direction and advice, and they're experts in marketing. So you get assigned to somebody, they reach out to you within 24 hours of joining just to welcome you to the tribe. And then when your website is done, and that's actually one of the questions, so I'll answer that, but when your website is completed, they reach out and they schedule a training with you and your team. They walk you through the dashboard that I just showed you so you can see where everything is. And it's really easy, but we want to make sure that you know where things are. They plan your first campaign with you. They reach out to you forever, with recommendations, like with motivational quotes. Like they're here. Like it's a real person that cares. And if you're ever stuck or you're frustrated or you're confused or you have a big opportunity, you don't know what to do, just reach out to them through phone or through email, and then your staff can as well. Like they are here to serve you. And that's why we have it. It was when we built this, we thought to ourselves, okay, this is great. We're giving them the tool, but like, what if they need guidance? Like, what if they need support? We're like, well, we're gonna have people there. We're going to invest in people to bring them the top of the line candidates that they probably wouldn't be able to hire on their own, because someone with that skill set probably wouldn't want to work in a small business, and now they gain access to them, and they're readily available. They're here to serve.
Yeah. So what are some of these questions? What are some of the questions the docs asked?
So one of them that was sent over here, I'm reading it here, and I don't know who sent this, so when you're watching, you'll know it's you because the name wasn't attached to it, but it says, so I have a website. Can I use what I have? And if not, how are you different? So great question, and I'm sure there's other people that have that question as well. So we're going to build you a new site. Whatever you have right now, whether it's with another chiropractic website company or even something that you built for yourself or some free site that you built on Wix or something like that, we're going to build you a brand new website, and we're going to migrate anything from your existing website over to the new website. So online forms, bios, pictures, testimonials, we're going to move all that over. You're not going to lose anything in this process. We want to make it really easy on you. And then what makes us different is the fact that a website does nothing without a marketing program. I actually have spoken about this at major marketing conferences where I've said that having a website without a marketing plan is completely wasted potential, and having a marketing plan without a world-class website is completely wasted potential. You need both of these things. You need them working together. So the difference between whatever you have now is that you just have a website, whereas with SimPractic, you have an automated marketing department built inside of your website, and you're able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, by just picking the date and time of what it is that you want to do, and then everything is done for you. So I hope that answers your question. Another question that was sent over here as I'm reading this. All right, this person says, this is awesome, I am in, so that's cool. But just in case this doesn't work for me, let me see what the next part is. What is the process to leave? So great question, and I always like people to know that you're not stuck. Like I said, I couldn't imagine sleeping at night thinking that anyone was spending money with our company because they have to, not because they want to. Like, I don't want enemies here. I want, and what it is, there's so much collaboration that if you were forced to stay, you would ruin the experience for everybody else. So it's just not the right thing to do. So let's say for some reason this just doesn't work for you, right? You give your notice, and you own your domain. So whatever your domain is, drjohndoe.com, you own that, and then you just go and you point that to either your existing website that you have now that you've just parked, you point it to a new website that you have built, but you can go on your way. You just give your notice, and even after you give your notice, you still have 30 days to use the program and maybe fall back in love with it. But you're not in a contract. We'll never have a contract. I don't believe in it. I've been told by consultants that I'm crazy. Have at least a year, if not 2 years. And I said, no, something. The crazy ones are the ones that change the world. I'm not having a contract. It goes against my belief system. and that's why we don't do it. So you're not locked in, but at the same time, just know that we have a 99% retention for a reason. It's because people are getting what they want, and most people are telling us they're getting even more than what they desired because they didn't even know, and then they get involved, and we're just constantly bringing value to their experience. An example of that, one of the things that I've seen is that in order for a business to really empower their team, they need to have like outings, like where they actually take their team outside of their office for like a meeting, and they come together in that meeting, and then they change things. And I understand that's sometimes challenging for a business owner if that's not your skill set, like that's not your milk, but that is my milk. I'm really effective at creating war room environments where people come together, they are super empowered, they bring ideas, and the byproduct is a crystal clear vision, crystal clear core values, and a 12-month marketing plan that is laid out and specific. And I've done this dozens and dozens of times. So I started to think to myself, in the ideal world, every chiropractor that's part of Simpractic would have me come out to their office for a full day, and I would lead a war room. But I realized that that's just not possible. So what's the next best? And we created something called the Sim Room Training. The Sim Room Training is a workbook. It's like 30 or 40 pages long, and about 30 videos that are like 1 to 3 or 5 minutes each that I recorded. And what it does is it leads your war room. So you can actually put these videos on a screen, and I will conduct your war room. It's called the Sim Room experience, where everyone will get crystal clear on the vision, crystal clear on the core values, crystal clear on your objective goals for 2015 or whatever year you're doing this for, and a 12-month marketing plan that your staff then goes into the dashboard and implements within 30 minutes, and you're all done. So that's just an example of how we're constantly bringing more and more value so that all of you can then benefit as a result. So, but you're not stuck. If this doesn't work for you, then obviously just go and go and use another service and just serve people, because that's the most important thing that you can do.
And that's a good point too. I just want to throw that out there. You know, like I owned a chiropractic office for 7 years before I sold my half of the practice to focus on teaching marketing. And you know, we grew our practice from nothing with a $12,000 investment to a practice that was doing over $700,000 a year. And people ask me all the time, like, man, how did you get to that point? And we had a team of people that were really synced up. And what we did is just what you said. I mean, we would have one major war room meeting at the beginning of the year, and then every quarter we would meet up again, and we would go off and we would spend the night at a hotel and go out and have, you know, we would spend all day, you know, looking at the practice and where it went in that quarter and where it was going to go the next quarter. And then afterwards in the evenings we would go out and we would have fun together, you know, in that sort of environment. And that's really cool that you guys offer that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. We just got another question in. So this time I actually see who it's from. So it's from Dr. Barger, I believe. What happens to my established website if for some reason I decide the program is not for me after a few months? So great question. I'm sure there's other people as well. So what you'll do, and we'll help you with this, is you can just park your website on like a different domain, or if you have like a web person, they can like really easily do this. So they'll just park it, so it's just like residing on the web, and then we'll go and we'll build you a new website and just begin to rock it. But if for any reason it doesn't work, you just change one setting on your domain back to your other website, and then your new website will reemerge. In addition to that, if you have a website right now that you feel like is actually performing, then let's run parallel tracks. Keep that website. We'll build another website for you. Many small business owners have more than one website, so that's a common thing. And just rock two sites. That one site you have, that's great. Let it perform. I'm letting you know the site that we build for you will outperform based on search, based on everything, because there's so much going on with it. And if the other site still continues to make sense, you can have that site forever and have two websites. But you're not going to lose anything. You can always park your existing website, so you have a backup plan if for any reason this doesn't work for you. So I hope that answers your question, Dr. Barger. Another question that was sent here, I don't know who this one is from, there's no name. What type of results do your clients see? That's a great question. So, when I share these results, just so you know, I don't want to set a false expectation, but I'll tell you what this is derived from, and then you can obviously go and take this. So we had a chiropractor that called our office probably like a month ago. and they just like literally called up and they're like, I want to get started. And one of our company policies is that everyone has to go through a demo like what we just did, because what I don't want is for anyone just to buy out of like emotion and excitement. Like that doesn't serve anyone. I want them to know what they're doing so they can make a logical decision to join. So we said great, and one of the growth ninjas, which is the salesperson on the team, they actually took them through a demo. And at the end of the demo, like right when it was done, he was like, okay, let's get started. So the growth ninja said, tell me, like how do you know? Like how do you have that much certainty? And he said, well, actually, I was at an event this past weekend. And I'm going to paraphrase this because I wasn't on the call, but this is what he shared. And he said that at the event, there was 8 of our clients were there, 8 chiropractors, randomly. Like they didn't even know that all of them were there. But they were randomly at this seminar, the big seminar, I suppose. And throughout the course of the weekend, he sat down with every one of them. Sometimes it was for lunch randomly or sitting next to someone in the seminar. And he mentioned, like, hey, I'm thinking about getting involved with this company called Simpractic. Are you familiar with it? And every one of them would like, are we familiar with it? Like, we're in it, just do it. Like, just join. It's the best thing we've ever done for our clinic. And he goes, well, tell me, how many new patients would you attribute to Simpractic? Like, how many would you give them credit for? And this was the range that these said. And these are not the most successful, like just the range of people. They said anywhere from 8 additional new patients a month to 22 additional new patients each month. And that's a lot of money. Like, guys, outside of you serving a lot of people, like, think about your case average. So let's say it's $1,500. And I know that some of you might be a little bit less, some of you might be a lot more. Just say on average, $1,500. 8 additional new patients each month is $12,000 a month of additional revenue, and 22 additional new patients each month is $33,000 of additional revenue for $497 investment. I mean, like, it's an absolute no-brainer. And I'm not setting unrealistic expectations. It's just what they shared. I know we have chiropractors that get over 100 new patients a month because they can handle that, and that's their goal. That's their vision. But with regards to your experience, you will be able to dive in, experience it, and if you get those kind of results, you'll obviously never leave. But if for any reason it doesn't work for you, then you can go and then do whatever it is that you desire. And like I said before, below this video, there are 2 links. You can click join. Like, you're in, you get it, you're like, this is awesome, then get started. Just get started. You'll get an email from us within 5 minutes. Even tonight, you'll get that email. It's automated. In the email, there is a link to an online website questionnaire. Spend some time, fill that out. It takes less than 5 minutes. Once you fill that out, what will happen is our design team is notified, and they will do 2 things. They will build your new website, and they will migrate anything from your existing website that's unique to you over to the new site, and you will get a new website within 48 to 72 hours of filling out that initial questionnaire. You will also have your personal marketing coordinator reach out to you within 24 hours to introduce themselves. Once the site is done, it's approved by you, and it's ready to go live. At that point, your marketing coordinator will reach out and schedule a training with you and your team, and they will walk you through the dashboard. They will help you pick your first campaign, and then they will help you rock it because they are just fully involved throughout the entire process. So if you're ready to go, just join. And if you have like one-on-one questions you want to ask, get answered, then just click on the demo, and somebody will reach out to you tomorrow. Chris, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was just gonna throw out there real quick. You know, even with the guy that got 8 new patients, like, even if you only converted 50% of them, you know, you're still talking $6,000 for $497 investment. You know, you typically want to get at least a 3-to-1 ROI, and that's way over that. So, yeah, that's Dr. Marco Caravaggio. He told me the same thing. He said that this thing has just been absolutely phenomenal for him, which is why he was so excited and wanted to connect us.
He just wrote in a message, and he said, when I showed the back office demo to my new CA, when it was done, there was a big pause, and then she said, wow. So that's what Marco just wrote in.
Oh, that's awesome.
There was another doc here that wrote in Dr. Alex, Dudley, I believe. And you mentioned, like, you're in Canada. Just fill out the demo, and then we'll be able to send you the information that you need. So just fill out that demo form, and we'll send you stuff because it'll just be easier than me saying it. Another question, I don't know who this one came from. How long does it take to get started? That's a good question. So it looks like you're going to be joining. So welcome to whoever submitted that. So how long does it take to get started? So when you join, within 5 minutes, you get an email from us. And there's that website questionnaire. You fill it out. It takes less than 5 minutes to fill out that questionnaire. It's super fast. When the design team gets it, they are working for you. They are hustling. Within 48 to 72 hours, you're getting your website. If you approve it on the first shot, which 90%, 95% of the chiropractors do, you'll have your training around that day as well. And that would mean that if you join tonight, so right now it is Tuesday night, your website will be live before Friday if you really fill out the questionnaire, and that would mean that your marketing would begin either on Friday or on Monday. So like we're here to ramp up, and you might say why? Well, the reason is you're not in a contract. So like if you don't see some momentum, there's a chance that you just quit. You're like, yeah, I couldn't really get it going, like I'm done. So it's in our best interest to get you going, to get you benefiting, because we know that action is what's going to bring people into your clinic. So we want to take a lot of massive action to get people into your clinic, because remember, what this is about is getting you the right new patient with the least amount of effort and no selling. That's what we do at SimPractic. So that was the last question that I had. The final, guys, just you'll see below. Join if you say this is for you, and you at least want to give it a shot. You have nothing to lose. And if you have like particular questions that you feel like you want to get answered, just fill out the demo, and someone will follow up with you tomorrow, and they'll schedule a time. But Chris, do you have any other questions that you want to ask on behalf of your people?
I was just going to say, that Jared's the real deal, and this guy knows marketing. And when I looked at this thing for the first time a couple weeks back, I got to admit, Jared, I was a little jealous. I was just like, wow. I'm like, I wish I would have come up with a software like this. This thing is just, it's unbelievable. It's a game changer. It's a game changer for chiropractic. And like you said, imagine if all chiropractors were using a system like this, and everybody was synced up and sharing that message of chiropractic. And at the end of the day, like you said, people know they want chiropractic, they just don't know to call it chiropractic.
Yeah, man, it's so true.
People are looking for natural ways to be well. I see it on Facebook all day long.
Yeah, and I know what it is. Like it's interesting you say it. So like, what's like the ultimate vision, right? So like, where do I see this going? So there's this campaign that I'm working on now, and I have not publicly revealed this, but why not tonight? Called The Journey to 300. And what this means is the following. And I know that your tribe is part of the 300, because that's why they're part of your tribe. Like they're serious about marketing, and that's why they're in your world, Chris. So what does this mean? So the Pareto principle states that 20% of the people make up 80% of the world's wealth, and that actually has proven itself for thousands of years. Like this has always been the case. So in chiropractic, it's no different. The top 20% of the profession is responsible for 80% of the adjustments, 80% of the revenue, 80% of the transformations. So that top 20% is what's going to bring chiropractic to the world. And I know that's the case. So the journey to 300 looks like this. In every state, the top 20% represents about 300 chiropractors. Some states, like California, there's a little bit more. Other states might be a little bit less. But on average, the top 300 chiropractors represent like that top 20%. So what we want to do is we want to play with those people. We want to dance with those people. Imagine this. Imagine that you're in Ohio, as an example, and 300 chiropractors, the top, the movers and the shakers, are all part of this tribe. And imagine that you declare that February is End Someone Suffering Month, which is this incredible referral campaign we put together. And all 300 of you are doing it at the same time. Can you imagine the amount of PR that state is going to get when it comes to chiropractic? Every news station is going to pick this up, both locally and for the state. Mayors are going to get it's going to be massive, because there's so many of you doing the same thing with the same message of bringing chiropractic to the world. And what if in March you declare it's Mommy My Ear Hurt Month, which is the ear infection campaign that I showed all of you shortly before? Like, what if all 300 were doing the same workshop all around the state, so that people can just go and go to any of these offices to be exposed to your message? Do you realize the success that every clinic achieves because of that synergy? So right now, if you know that you're in the top 300, this is a no-brainer. Like you just need to do it, experience it, become part of the tribe, market fearlessly, collaborate regularly. Give yourself the permission to try this, because what I know to be true is that once you try it, you will say exactly what Marco C said and his staff. Wow, like this is the best thing I've ever done. Like the reason we're talking now is because Marco C said, Chris, you just need to check this out. Like I'm sure you see this stuff all the time, and you have. Just check it out, and if you think it's the real deal, because obviously I know it is, I'm part of it, than to bring it to your people. More chiropractors need to know about this, and that's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
We're just doing this to serve you, and I'm fired up about it. I know we're going to double before the end of the year, and it would be a pleasure to have people in your tribe involved because I know that they're rock stars. They're part of your world, and they get the importance of marketing, and now it's going to be automated for them.
Awesome. Well, man, dude, I cannot thank you enough for doing this tonight. I'm just as excited as you, and I'm sure everybody else that just witnessed this. I just really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being in love with chiropractic as much as I'm in love with it, and these doctors that are my loyal subscribers are in love with it. Because if we do work together, man, we can make a huge impact and change the world. And time to take the pharmaceutical companies down, man. And this is definitely a way that we can achieve that. So anyway, guys and girls, thank you for being on this call tonight. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart as well for taking time out of your night. I know we've gone over. We're about an hour and 20 minutes in now. But thank you for taking time to check this out tonight. And if this is something that you feels right for you, feels right in your heart, then go ahead and click the links below. Either just get started or schedule that one-on-one demo with Jared and his team, and they questions answered. In the meantime, everyone, keep saving lives.